Yo, what's up, Heat family? It's your boy BradHeat, and today I'm gonna be giving you guys some tips. If you're watching this video, that probably means you're looking to up the production quality of your videos, or maybe you're just not quite sure what it takes to make a better video. Well, don't worry guys, I got you covered. I may not have the biggest fan base, I may not have the biggest repertoire, but I do know what it takes to create top-notch content. I've been studying it for a long time. I've even produced some things myself. But with that said, I'm just gonna get right into this. No BS, no filler. Let's tell you how it's done. Step one is very obvious. You gotta have a good appearance if you're turning on the camera. And I don't mean that in the sense that you gotta look like some Adonis or some model. Put in a little bit of time and effort to make yourself look presentable. Now, you could turn on the camera and make a video looking like this, or you could just spend the 5 minutes it takes to make yourself look a little bit more presentable. If you're turning the camera on, you want to make it look like you care. If I watch a video, or if anyone watches a video and they see someone with just this bedhead, raggedy shirt they've been wearing for a couple days, things like that, I'm just not gonna want to watch the content. Again, don't get your appearance confused with your actual looks. These things are completely independent of one another. What I'm saying is, you don't have to look the best, just try and look presentable and try and look clean. Okay, this next one is so important. I can't stress it enough. It's probably the most important thing on this list. If not, it's definitely up there. But I would go out on a limb and say, to me, this is definitely the most important thing on this whole list. You've got to have this down pat. This has got to be top notch if you really want to make top notch content. And that is your camera. I'm not talking about the quality of your camera, even though the quality of your camera is pretty important. I would venture to say it's actually decently important. But even more so than that, on the importance scale, is you gotta get to know your camera. If you don't know the piece of equipment you're recording on, you're not going to be able to use it to its full potential, and as a result you're not going to be able to get the maximum potential out of a video. Every video camera records differently, and that's just a fact. The Canon 70D, the Canon 80D, the EOS Rebel T5i, they all record differently. Even if I'm just using my iPhone to record a video, it still records differently than any other camera out there or any other iPhone. You need to take the time, get to know it. If you've got a DSLR especially, get to know the different lenses and how they work, what they're good at, what they're bad at, what they're okay at, but you can still use a better lens for, because things like that are gonna up your production quality tenfold. Go in your settings, mess with your ISO, try the manual focus, do things like that. Get to know the camera, because if you can master all those settings, you are literally the creator of this environment now. You know, you want a macro shot, you want a 2-shot, whatever you want, you are in charge of that now. You literally have the power at your fingertips. You know how to do all these things. The shot's too dark, you know how to change that. The shot's too bright and just oversaturated, you know how to change all that. You need to know your camera. Otherwise, you're just gonna run with factory defaults. And the factory default is a good basic setting, but you're not gonna get the full effect of that camera. So yeah, come on, take some time out of your day, get to know your camera. Another super important one, and I know I said getting to know your camera was the most important, but I would say this one is definitely equally, I would venture to say this one is definitely equally as important, and that is your editing time. If you really want to turn this into a full-time job, into a full-time paid position on YouTube, start treating it like it's a full-time job. Put the hours in. Don't film something and spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes editing it and then let it render, never even watch it back, and then just slap it up on YouTube. Take a look at some of the better YouTubers out there, some of the YouTubers that you watch their videos and you think, wow, that's crazy. It's almost like this is a professional video. That's because it is a professional video. They're spending their time, their money, their effort, they're spending it all on making this better. They're spending it all on making their videos better. They know their camera in and out. They spend hours sitting there watching it, making their footage better, little micro cuts and things that you would overlook while you're spending 10 minutes editing. And also, while I'm mentioning editing, this is just a little tip from me personally. Don't go so crazy on the filters and on the stuff like that. It's just not necessary, because I get it. You've got this editing software and it's got all these cool features that you can add to your video, all these colors, all these blurs, these effects. You don't need all of those, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna make a lot of different clips, you're gonna spend a lot of time, and you're like, oh, I gotta add this filter in, I gotta add that filter in, and you're gonna watch it back and it's just gonna look like a 12-year-old made it. Watch professional videos. They don't have all these filters, all these TV film blurs, all these Gaussian blurs, crystallization, whatever. They don't have all that because it's not necessary. You don't need it. Don't let it ruin what could be a very good video. Another thing that is definitely up pretty high on the importance list, I wouldn't rate it quite as high as camera work and your editing, but it's still definitely up there because it gives you a good basis and it works hand in hand with your camera. It's your lighting. You've gotta have good lighting. Don't be that person that just flips the camera on with one light on in the whole room and you can't even see their face because the light's behind them, so it's so backcast that you just see shadows and you can't even tell what's going on. I wouldn't watch that content. You wouldn't watch that content. So just don't be that guy, please. This one should be obvious. You want the lighting to be good. I would really recommend buying a panel light, if I'm being honest, because right now, I don't know if you can see it in this video, but I've got two sources of light. I've got my natural light to this side, and I've got my panel light to this side. Now let me show you what it looks like without the panel light. Mind you, this is just with the panel light off, just a little light, and let me show you the difference it makes in the camera quality. See, look at this video now. It doesn't look near as professional. This side of my face is lit, this side is not as lit. It casts a half and half type of deal that doesn't look good. If I was making a professional video, people would be vomiting right now because it's not a good look for your video. Don't do it. And now see how much better this looks. My face is much more uniformly lit. I've got a better lighting effect, and by comparison, it makes the whole video look better as a whole. Volume. If I've got a low volume video, you're not gonna enjoy it as much as you would a video with a normal volume level. And there's a couple different reasons for that. The obvious one being it's just kind of annoying and it's not good. It's not good. It's not professional looking. But another one goes much more psychological than that. And that is that as humans, we tend to have empathy towards one another or towards certain situations or people. And if you can't hear it at a decent level, you're not going to be able to get as involved with this video, as involved with the content. And so you're not going to be able to sit there and enjoy it as much. It's not going to feel as immersive. That one's just a quick little one. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You want to have a good volume level. Don't make it so loud that it's overpowering, but also don't make it so quiet that it's just like they sound like a little mouse and you can't hear what they're saying, and it's just so quiet and they might as well just be muted. So yeah, there it is, guys. Pretty short and simple. There's 5 tips that are gonna help you turn your production quality from just a regular at-home video to something much bigger than that, much better than that. Seriously, take what I'm saying very seriously, because I promise you, if you put that time in, you put that effort in, and you sit there for a bit and you try these things, you know, you get to know your camera, you spend a little bit more time editing. Don't get so impatient. You want this to become something. You want to make some money from this. That's why you're making these videos. Put the time in. Everything is hard work. You're not going to get money without the work. So just put that time in, you know. Invest that time in something that has a positive future, like YouTube. Like videos in general. Just come on, put a little bit of effort in. Make sure to like this video if you found what I said helpful at all. Subscribe for more content. I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. BradHeat out.